Yes. Okay, that's all. Thank you for watching. Please smash. Oh, you're still here. Okay, Apple just released updated versions of the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro. Design-wise, it's basically the same as the previous models. However, now it has a new CPU, the M2 Pro and the M2 Max. Apple claims in general about 20 to 30% performance gains depending on what you do compared to the previous generation, and you can spec it up with up to 96 gigabytes of memory and up to 8 terabytes of internal storage if your credit card is up for it, or ask your employer to get one, or your partner. I have the 16-inch M2 Max incoming, and I will test it in Ableton Live, Logic Pro, and anything else you are going to type down here in the comments below. So the 14-inch in the US of A starts at $2,500 and the 16-inch starts at $2,700, I think it was. And obviously you can add more memory and storage, and the price will skyrocket. Much like if you live in Europe, where I do, here we need to pay $3,500 for the one that costs $2,500. And yeah, it's a price increase for sure, or a money worth decrease, perhaps. This machine is a tool. It's a tool for people that earn money on their work. The price in that regard is often secondary. The MacBook Pro M2 Max will be an excellent computer for music production, for sure. I mean, that's obvious compared to how the lower-end models already work and are tested thoroughly by others. The question is, do you really need the power of the M2 or the M2 Max? I think it's safe to say that if you truly need this computer, you already know it and you don't really need to watch this video. Or if you just want to treat yourself with some of the best Macs available today, go for it. I have done so, and I can also show it off to you on this channel without any bias at all. When I occasionally produce music on my Mac in a hotel or somewhere, I'm still nowhere near maxing out my 2-year-old M1 MacBook Pro. And this is with projects using heavy synthesizers like Diva and others. So I don't need this upgrade, but I am upgrading because I miss a bigger screen size when I am out, and I'm getting older and my eyes, it's much more comfortable on a bigger screen. Do you hear how many good things you can come up with when you are trying to justify buying new gear? Maybe I can come up with something else as well. It's a little bit small, the 13-inch, and I don't like the touch bar. They removed that now from the new models. So you see, you can justify it any way you want. But to be a little bit serious, how much computer do you really need? I think a lot of people overestimate what they truly need. Sometimes you may justify a big purchase by thinking it's future-proof. But how fast technology moves today, how future-proof is it really after 5 or 10 years? Next year we are going to have the M3, and we are going to have the M4, M5, or maybe Apple skip some and just call it M10, and so on. I see that Macs generally tend to last longer than other laptops. My dad had his Apple laptop for 10 years. This is also because Apple, they try to keep up with software updates even for the older machines, or at least they release security updates. I know people that to this day in a professional setting use Macs with older Intel CPUs. If it gets the job done, it's good enough. So if you just want to record your vocal, a few guitar tracks, perhaps a few software synthesizer tracks and effects, you will get by with any M-based Mac today. The lowest spec one, the cheapest M1 Mac, it's no problem. And many people believe that they need a lot of expensive gear to get started with music production. And you can argue that Apple products is inherently expensive, even the lower end models. But you don't probably need the most spec'd out one. I mostly use Ableton Live myself, and it's optimized for M Max. I also recommend checking out Logic Pro X. It's made by Apple, so it really flies on these type of machines, and you get everything you need to start creating music right from the box. And nowadays most plugins are up to date as well, unless you rely on some archaic old plugin that it's not updated anymore and the developer have died or something like that. So it's obvious that the MacBook Pro M2 will work for music production, but it's not only that. Video editing, image editing and other creative work will also fly on these machines. I remember when Apple released their extremely thin MacBook Pros with Intel CPUs, and they had huge problems with heat, low performance, and keyboard issues with stuck keys, removal of ports, and everything. And many professional users, they left the Apple ecosystem because of this, because it seems like Apple didn't listen to the feedback they got. And that's a little nature of Apple. They have opened up a little bit now, it seems like, but they don't always say that much, and sometimes it can be a little bit annoying. And I think Apple perhaps lost some customers at that around 2016 there when they did those Macs. But the laptops Apple have today is, in my opinion, one of the best ones ever made. They have gone back on their strange behavior they had a few years ago, and they have produced a solid chunk of computer with useful ports, good design and build quality, and I can't actually wait until I get it delivered here. And this would for sure be my desert island PC if I had to choose. That said, I do actually do my main music production on my Windows PC with the Ryzen 7950X I just bought, and I use the Mac for general office tasks or simple production on the road, at least for now. But we will see when I get the new one. I will at least use it here on YouTube and do comparisons between PC and Windows with the high-end parts, and I think that will be really interesting for people watching. Check out the next YouTube video, or maybe it's here, YouTube Things You Should Watch. It really helps this channel. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.